Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity. Imagine if he gave up and just stopped researching lightning and doing experiments with storms and attracting lightning into various objects, and like, we wouldn't know what electricity is. Without the Wright brothers and their persistence, we wouldn't have airplanes. Alexander Graham Bell, telephone. I mean, if people of today had the spirit that people had back then, this world would be a much different place. And that is the goal of this mastermind, and what we're doing is we want to inspire people to become like Alexander Graham Bell, the Wright brothers, Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie, and Charles M. Schwab, who founded American Steel. These are the kinds of people that we want to help, that we want to bring on the show, and that we are becoming ourselves. And I'm really happy that I learned about these figures throughout the course of history, because they inspire me. And I'm thinking, if Charles M. Schwab and Edwin C. Barnes, when he got off the freight train to show up at Thomas A. Edison's office, looked like a bum, but he didn't care what he looked like. He came there for one reason only, and that was to become Thomas A. Edison's associate, and he did it. And he had nothing, no money, no resources. He had to get on a freight train and risk getting caught by the police to go after what he wanted. And that's the point where I'm getting to, is I'm willing to stake everything on this business, and that's how I know it's going to work, because the universe listens to people like that. And the universe goes, okay, you really know what you want. I mean, you've taken all these risks. I'm not going to let put anything in your way. And then the things start happening for you. Stuff starts unfolding for you. Les Brown was born into poverty in I forget what city he's from, but he had a very, very poor upbringing, a lot of poor poverty in his family. And he got into public speaking at a young age, and he went to seminars and stuff like that. And there was a lot of people telling him he couldn't do it. A lot of people said, you're never going to be a good public speaker, but he never gave up. And that's the difference between people who make it and those who don't, right? I mean, we all know that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead. Anybody else who hasn't chimed in yet, tell us your stories about taking calculated risks and what kind of rewards followed that, what you did.
Well, this is Jim.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming, man.
No problem. All great comments and great ideas. The first thing that came to mind when I thought about calculated risk was just being alive and getting up in the morning is a calculated risk. Particularly given these days. I mean, heck knows what's going on in the world. I mean, we don't have a clue as to what the future holds.
That's right.
But that being said, people really kind of fall into two categories as I see it. You either are a person who needs the security of a job, or you're self-empowered or self-actualized or entrepreneurial, and you want something that's yours, that you can control. And then there's people that are, like all of us to some degree, caught in kind of the middle, in that we have that desire to be entrepreneurial and take risks, but the reality of our circumstances is that we still need to hold down a job as kind of a bridge to get us there. But a lot of people who have jobs just can't find that mindset to be able to take the risk. The security of the paycheck, the weekly or monthly or bi-weekly paycheck, is too strong, and therefore there'll always be somebody that works for somebody else. These kind of people will always be a person who works for somebody else, and they'll never realize a bigger dream. So being an entrepreneur in and of itself, just deciding that you're going to do that, is a risk. The calculated side basically is really about research and planning. To me, it's just digging into the subject matter of what it is that you're trying to be or do, and deciding the best path so that you minimize risk and put more weight on the side of success. So that's how I see it. It's all a calculated risk.
I like that, James. Thank you so much for sharing. And we have Randy here, one of Kareem's friends. Actually, there's two people here I don't know. Well, I know Randy, sort of, and then there's the person who dialed in. 520-589-5521. Who are you? Hello, you're on.
It's Leon.
Leon!
Leon!
Hey!
You're just out there.
Yeah.
Leon.
I'm doing good. Just
Good.
Just enjoying dinner right now.
Okay, awesome. Good.
But no, I was just kind of sitting here thinking about what you guys were saying, and to me, definitely agreeing with most of what everyone was saying. Calculated risk is not just about risk, but it's about being disciplined and taking sacrifice as well. With my circumstance right now, the way I'm, sacrificing, well, I decided to, I'm getting rid of my apartment, and that way I can,
You were muted, Leon. You were saying?
No, I'm saying, I'm getting rid of my apartment. That way I can use my resources that I'm, working for to better, invest or to start other assets for myself.
Awesome. Good job.
So,
Yeah.
that security of having a house, I decided to, get rid of it because it was more of a liability than it was of, any benefit to me.
Of course. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for chiming in and being here tonight, Leon, and we look forward to hear from you in a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Fran Richardson, haven't heard from you yet. What are some risks you've taken to move your life forward, and things that you've had to do, some challenges you were facing, some critical decisions you had to make to keep pursuing your dreams?
Where do I begin?
Anywhere you want, my dear.
I pretty much have adopted the focus that if I live through it and I try it, then I'll do it again.
Cool.
And I guess that comes from Earl Nightingale saying to me, if you have a dream and you think about it 75% of the time, and then you act on it the other 25% of the time, eventually it'll come to where it just begins like a habit. You just adapt it and you grow with it, and eventually you're switching oars. Instead of dreaming about it, you're taking action, and your dream just starts to grow. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep going with what's working, and you build on it from where you started.
I mean, that's exactly the position I was taking. Funny enough, since Randy's here and like Chris, we can emphasize with this. When we started with the Power Hour, we didn't have really anything. We're like, we have webcams, an idea, and then we made one image. I'm like, okay, that looks cool. And I made some like weird intro. It's still kind of cool with some rock music, and then we just went for it. We didn't really know what we were doing. I had like a t-shirt on. Chris still was in his metal t-shirt, and we were just kind of talking about stuff, just me and him on webcams, thinking.
I remember those days in the car.
I did it in the car a lot.
In the car and just in his chains and hoodie, and just no more than a webcam and a microphone, and you were just rolling and going with it.
Yep, that's how you do it.
Look where you came now.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate that.
It's
Greatly
funny.
appreciate that.
Yeah, just gotta jump in there. I mean, so many people, the problem with calculated risks is they'll think, oh, I have to take this into consideration. I have to take every variable. I'm being calculated, right? I'm saying no. Really, it's about, do you have the courage to...
You don't have to get it perfect to go with it.
That's
you
right.
You just get up and do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you didn't know how to do videos. You didn't know how to do logos. You didn't know how to do